Hello, it's me. Hey y'all, you see me on the YT YouTube because it's Small House Saga episode 21, right? Must be 21 if I'm not mistaken. But Murundo never scream because yangu hechi yes Small House Saga. Small House Saga dia nasi before you watch it. In case some of you didn't watch the Small House Saga ngekanzi mufundisi munuo, that one, go and watch it. This helps you to get context of the person because if you still remember the lady where this one Mufundi Simuno any continuation story but with a different big mic, you know what I mean. So if you didn't watch it, it just gives you background yemunwacho context yemuni antika. So let's get it. And I know you enjoy my stories, right? You enjoy my stories, you love my stories, right? Can you show that by liking my video and engaging and subscribing? Tag Topinamo 5k, it's 4,900 something. So we need 5k subscribers. Antika, don't make me get mad. Because if I'm mad, things will be mad. Ask on TikTok. Okay? Okay. This is why YouTube is the only one getting this info, this story, because TikTok doesn't deserve it. Now let's get it. Munwedu is the same person wekunyeyanda tichi mufundisi munuwo ndakamuti Hazel, right? So Hazel anti takazosiya tichitanga kugara nemaparents ake. Arikugara nemaparents ake, it just so happened kuti kwakunechi ZITF, right? And then ndopaenda ZITF na baba wake ku Blues. The reason she went there is because mdara wake works for a big company in Zimbabwe. It has offices in the main cities of Zimbabwe, right? The big cities of Zimbabwe. So the dad was like, listen, rugena nebasa, so why can't I just go with my family? And then the family paper, as you know, ZITF Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's basically businesses that will be just showcasing their models and everything like that. So there was a particular guy, obviously you're gonna call that guy who? Exactly, Big Mike. So Big Mike had his own company and he was just showcasing his business model, like how he do things and stuff like that. And did Hazel was like, oh, you know what? I'm interested in what this guy is doing because he had a little small company he was just trying to come up with. So he figured this business model is in line with what he does. So he was like, okay, let me link up na Big Mike. So at this point, Mdarawa Hazel realizes kuti his phone is system moto. And he was like, okay, listen, and funny when I'm moto, this is my business card, give me your business card. But he was like, funny mwana wango Hazel in a moto. So put your number in her phone so that at least we just have security, you know what I mean? And the Big Mike was like, okay, no worry. Then Hazel Vazopa did vake number tani it's a Big Mike did mozombata chichichi. Then eventually Hazel and Big Mike started talking because Angaka Sevachi number the Big Mike. So at this point Hazel says, Daisa my status. So you know my status hey we love you know na kids unongwa na mnokoro rice wangu tusanga na faro you know and stuff like that. And Big Mike was like, hi Hazel, I see you are not dating anyone, you know, the typical blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, I'm single, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually they get to start talking, and then eventually Big Mike says, okay, let's go for dinner. And Hazel was like, okay, cool. They go for dinner. It was so amazing, and the vibes were just amazing. It's just so chill and stuff like that. He was quite old compared to her, because at this point she was like 23 if I'm not mistaken, but this guy was like old, late 50s type shit. So anyway, it was vibes on vibes. They started going out for lunch, dinners, parks and stuff like that. Eventually she starts dating Big Mike, right? So there was a particular night they had said to Zenda for dinner, and then on that particular night, Big Mike ends up calling and saying, hey Shari, I'm so sorry I can't make it because I got things to attend to. Can we reschedule to next week? He's just like, okay, no worries. Here's what happens out, okay, no worries. She's just like, okay, cool, to another time. The next week, yeah, reschedule, yeah, she can. Then Big Mike is like, listen, I don't think tomorrow we should go for that dinner and stuff like that. I was actually thinking we should go to Vumba. Have you been to like the Vumba mountains, the waterfalls and stuff like that? And she's like, nah, I've never been. The guy's like, okay, cool, let's just go for 4 nights and then we come back. She tells her family, I have to go Knona my nini. So you know, you always need that one my nini who's just got you in the pocket. So that's the frontman she used, like no chichi, and the parents are like, ah, okay, cool. And she tells him, my nene, listen, I'm doing the da 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 da, and my is like, cool, yo, I got you, you know. Then they go to Vumba, they enjoy, and while they were there, the third day of being there, that's when Big Mike is like, Sherry, I'm so sorry, I wasn't really honest with you. So thing is, da 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 da, I'm married and I love my wife, I love you too, I want y'all both in my life. You stay in your lane, she'll stay in her lane, you know, and stuff like that. Don't be shouting out there, like, you know, that's my man and stuff like that. Just play your role and I'll take great care of you. She's like, okay, cool. So when they get back Kumba, like when Big Mike is dropping off Hazel, he's like, there you go, I hope you can just help yourself with something, you know, just take this. And it was money, and get him more envelope. And then when she gets in the house, she realizes it's $1,000 US dollars, and she's like, damn, he got it like that, you know. And she starts saving that money until Yashka called 3,200. So there was a particular car that she wanted. It was going for 3,200 on B forward, and then inclusive of thingy, you know, shipping, blah 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 blah. It was supposed to be like 5 point something, right? So at that time she was now on 3.2, which was almost enough for the particular car that she wanted. And she was like, okay, then Pamsorondo's Ada, you know, so you'd be just doing your math. So when that money was 3.2, she realizes, okay, I can't find my money. I know they see my money. She asked for Nimumba because there was two brothers, her cousin, her mainini, like, and she was like, guys, I didn't get a passport in this, you know, locked thingy, where's my money? And everyone's like, we know this yam, or we know this yam, you know. She's just like, oh damn, okay. And you know, she eventually tells Big Mike, bro, I had money and to Kwanamari Mota, and you know, this is what happened. And Big Mike is like, oh, I'm really sorry. The reason she was saving that money is because chakachinjets and the chakaita say chakatanga. You remember the previous Ukaipo she never did anything with the money. I had to follow up with her. Is what really happened. She was like, oh, I don't even know. You know, the thing you're to listen, this person's mommy, and so I can get money anytime. I was just buying wigs and stuff like that. And you see tangible, right? So she was like, I can't be starting to save money and then this happens. Then she tells her boo is like, I'm really sorry, I'll keep helping you out, because here and they would give him a 300 200 and Saga got to score 3.2 within a short period of time. So one particular night, Big Mike is like, let's go for dinner, chichichi. Then when they're there for dinner, he just gives her a little box, and in the box she realizes many keys, and my keys are Toyota. She wanted a Toyota Aqua, right? And then she sees the Toyota keys, and then she goes outside, she realizes, oh, it's a black Aqua. She's like, thank you, baby chichi, I promise you I can, you know, give you bichana. The guy's like, no, the money is yours, don't worry about it, chichi. But because she was just so scared of the way she was stripped off of everything, you remember, she was like, okay, no, I can give you like 2K. So she ends up giving this guy 2,000 to say, at least, you know, I played a part in the car being mine. And then, you know, she gets the papers and they're in her name for the car, right? Anyway, she gets home with that new car, and the morning after she gets home with that car, her mom is like, hey, baby, how did this happen? Like, you just have a car when I got about share mari manje, and I actually realized you had 3,200. Mind you, no one knew about this money. You had 3,200 while some of us were busy trying to look for money and stuff like that, and you had all that money. And she's like, mama, and she's like, yeah, and Tora. And now that I've seen you are such a big girl, right? I've been say you the big girl, abi, you the bow hearts, big girl. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna ask you to pay $500 every month to cover your rent, to cover electricity, to cover food, to cover, you know, just to help us out. And then she was like, oh damn. And then eventually she tells her man Big Mike, she's like, Big Mike, and I need you to help me look for a place, because I can't be paying 500 in a bedroom where I'm sleeping takawanda, you know what I mean? So she was just like, I'd rather go stay on my own. She tells her dad, they didn't do that, and the dad is like, no, mama, okay, is wrong, chichichi. But you know, sometimes dads, there's nothing they can do about it. Like, as a spouse, sometimes there are things that you just can't intervene and be like, GGG. So he was like, listen, I'm down with what you're saying, Kuti, and gotta just get a nice safe place, GGG. And then eventually she moves out and she stays in her own place. She's staying in her own place, and you know, Big Mike is a bit free now, and you know, spend more hours, not sleep over, more hours there. And you know, things are just going well for our girl Hazel. So things were going good, amazing. But it just got to a point where she realized, I have all this time. I have this whole space on my own. This man comes and goes. I need him to be mine full time. And that's when she's like, okay, I think I have an idea. Let me tell my friend, my Tanya. Tanya, I'm so sorry, babe. That's my best friend. I tell her everything. So I'm inclined to use Tanya as a best friend's name. So she tells her Tanya. Now she tells Tanya, she's like, girl. And Tanya's like, Shakisha, what's up? And she's like, girl, when I tell you this man doing right by me, he pay my rent, he give me allowance, he do shit for me. But, and Tanya's like, okay, and what's the problem, Shakisha? She's like, girl, when I tell you this man don't be giving me his whole time, I'm so bored. I'm pissed, girl. Like, I need his time, some quality time with my man. And Tanya's like, girl, I feel you. So what's your solution? She's like, girl, I don't know. That's why I told you. She's like, okay, so even when your man is not giving you time, she's like, yeah, he pays the rent, he does all that stuff, but I need his time. I need his iskati. So Tanya's like, okay. Now, obviously, you came to me because you don't got a plan, right? So you can't judge me. Like, you can't shame the shameless. And Hazel's like, of course. Okay. So there's a particular lady girl in Epworth. She helps ladies who have these marital issues and these jolo issues. If y'all remember, Maria from the first episode of our Vows Revenge Confession series, she went to Epworth, remember? So I cross-checked and yeah, it's the same lady. The Vavendo Epworth. Now Vanushka Epworth, and then they see Gogo, and Gogo tells them like isai $50 mdiro. So to those that don't know, like me, in Indagatozo I do the Zinchuzo story times and lives. Apparently, Ukashika trying to get helped, so that's when we say money spiritual, that's how like they kind of introduce the spirits to you and stuff like that. So normally you are not told kutune samari, you just kanda yao na yo $5 $10 whatever yongo tungo zikano, you know what I mean. So this Gogo says $50, and then Aba Isaji $50 mdiro mia. And then Gogo is like, okay, so nyaya ndinenge ndikuiona ndikunoti uneono yako yaunayo nzvimbo yako yakushungurudza yauri kuda nguva nayo chichichi, and it's just like, Gogo nazo, you know what I mean. And then Gogo is like, nah, I mean, and then she's like, yeah, Gogo. So Gogo says, okay, no worries. What I want you to do is I need you to give me 2 weeks, but within this 2 weeks I also need you to leave $300 and give me $300 in 2 weeks, and then you come back. She's like, okay, cool, because Gogo says she wants to go in the forest deep in Masango. She needs to retrieve something in there. And then when she gets there, she does the things what she's supposed to do, and then ndovazo fonera mzukuru nerase nadzoka, so chibatikira tiite mdiri ndovaenda kwa Gogo. Gogo gives them a roots like midzi, vakampa midzi nemakwati chichichi, and then she's like, okay, izvi zviri mvura yakachukuchudzwa hono yako painoya kumba, make sure whatever you do inobva yageza. Anditi, so yageza udaro unoisira mvura, make sure you drop some of this water in that water that he needs to use kuti ageze, and the water that he drinks unoshandisa mamwe manisina akapiwa. And then obvanzi utu tunenge tumakwati tuyetete pamuti akanzi make sure that men eats porridge specifically, or mix some mushonga yochi porridge. And she's like, okay, cool. A few weeks go by, and then she realizes this man is starting to be bitter towards his wife. Like when he mentions her, he never used to mention it, by the way. Like, this lady, I know bondi boa, ageze, I know boa, she's always nagging, I know boa, chichichi. And then it got to a point where he just didn't like kutomborara even kumba, and he would eventually sleep kumba kwani kwa Hazel, and Hazel's like, okay, Gogo got me. So ndobva tanga ngoramba tichingoitika like mvese anototi maybe Tuesday to Friday ari kumba kwa Hazel zenobva kwake odzosera hembe, and stuff like that. And she was like, well, I was happy that I'm at least getting a little slice of the cake. And then zvinhu zviri kufire. So zvakafire to the extent that she was now like his former mistress, you know what I mean, formal second wife. When I say formal second wife in quotes, obviously my guru didn't know her, but guess what, the husband's relatives, as in Big Mike's relatives, vanga wakumuzia. not his parents, but like brothers, sisters, tetes, baninis, she had a tete who was staying in Kwadzana, one of Big Mike's sisters. She was staying in Kwadzana. At some point, wakatombenda vese kumba kwa tete babo, and tete will be like, oh, mroda wangu, chi, that type of thing. But as you know, Kwadzana is a small area now, as big as it is. So now you they see you they look talk say na big, not a big, na small area now, So eventually, people are like, oh man, chichi. And then there was a particular time, Pagans in a Big Mike, Panama chickens and to and they say, tete wako, I want you to make this week because I'm a bit busy, and I have to go to family chichi. So I need you to take them there. Ndokwisra fuel. I feel like it's good for you so that at least she's like, yeah, you got a point. And then open some chickens. After some chickens cricket, it is just walking around with her and they don't a drink, you know how it is. But that type of thing. But you know how these things go. Eventually the wind will be caught at some point, right? Madzirane jeve, madzirane mazizo. So I don't know how this ended up getting to my guru. Now chill and let me tell you more. So there was a time Yarenzi Murume wa Tete Ari out of town and Big Mike was busy, so he was like, Hazel, can you please go and pick up Vana va Tete because Mota ine Murume and the other one Irukumba is Kushanda, like get 20 time Iruda Gadziriswa, so she can't go pick up the kids and like Mota, it's one of those type of schools, chi. So she was like, okay, cool. So no Toravana and then Obatoshika Tete Oivana chi. So Tete was like, no compro like for the next 3 days until Chibankura Kwazokoso Potochno Toravana. And she's like, nah, no worries, because Tetonga told Zawani Pachkoro team Roronga Gata Sosa and Gachurachi Vana. And on Toravana first day, second day, third day, fourth day. Abano Toravana. And on Toravana. Big Mike was around that area straight. No, kanovono Toravana. I think ndichasangana newe chikumba kwa sister because ndikusaidi koko panisha ndukita mglaudina so ndinokubata ikoko and then ndova tosangana na Big Mike tutorimba mimi tutobikirwa na tete tututaranya ya chichichi padomva panokwa. Hey, when I tell you, Big Mama was like, iwe Mike, ndiye munoonekwa chitabasa rekuregedzerodzoka kumba chichi imitete makakwana. Guys, when I tell you kutanzi Big Mama waka slap tete makakwana mune hunu munhu wechikadzi chiwa murume yenyu, do you even know where he is right now? What if he's doing the same to you? Chichi ndobva vadzipa Anita nepahuro, wewe unoziva kuti atone mukadzi chichi like hanzi vanesu akarohwa Big Mike akarohwa munhu wese akarohwa mba everybody go collect harm and guess what gulezi ndichiyera yep ndobva vamurova vanhu vakasiya rova vanhu vakati mundikwanire chichi and then she left. Hanzi vachisvika kumba that lady kana pana kambona waiting to excel, that senior Angela Bassett yanenge achicheka hembe achirasa hembe achipisa mota chichi. That's what she did. If you haven't watched it, go on Disney Plus and on Netflix mutsvage Waiting to Excel. If it's still there on Netflix, I don't know if it's still there or not, but Waiting to Excel is definitely on Disney Plus. Netflix, I'm not sure if it's still there, but go and watch it. So she goes full rock like anzi cheka yembe vakango boots vachirasa boots bumchisara one side ratio, that type of thing. Like she just went hammer time on there. So anyway, Big Mike vakazotozozva naizvozvo vasvika kumba kachamari ma1 kunoku ende mukadzi uya rutotora kuti achaudza maparents ake pamaparents ake chi ndo akatonibatsira kuti ndisimuke and they can actually they actually have the power to all my investors can pull out. That's how powerful these parents are. So so like no communication, please. If I don't text you, don't text me. She's like, okay, cool. Over sorry, that type of thing. So eventually Big Mike vakazochinja number. Sister ya Big Mike aichataure naye, hama dza Big Mike dzaisiya dzichataure naye. And then when I tell you kuti ndanga ndapa mawanika, no one is talking to me. Now, mind you, at this point Hazel is not working, right? mari ari kuwana kubva kunani, kuna Big Mike. Anomboita tumabhizinesi yenzee paanomboti regai ndimbomhanya ndombonotengesa mawigi anenge achipisa. That's the type of thing aiita. Abva atongoti mari yandineyo pano regai nditonohodha tuno nani natanya wangu titese tipo tichitengesa. Abva atotanga kuti tarana. Akatozotanga kutozoita basa rekuti regai ndichi marana services act nechinda ese chinotengera vanhu zvinhu chichichatonoti pana pakashata and I can't just be seated and handikwanisa kudzokera kumba. Now tatara isusu kare tikati sorry guys, tatara isusu kare tikati kudzokera kumba was not an option. Remember kumba kwavo remember kuna mai vakamubira 3.2 chichichichi, so that was not an option. So vatanga kutoita marana services chichichi zvinhu zvautoita sei zvakutomika sense, and you know she's now on her feet. Atobuda like mumba mai bhadharwa na Big Mike cause mai dhura a bit, and she downscaled to a cute 1-bedroom apartment chichichichi, you know, and life yakutotanga make sense. And 2 months after this, that's when she realized, I'm pregnant. And it's definitely Big Mike's because hapana changa itana in one, and she tried to reach out to the relatives. No one is picking up or anything. She even told his friends. Pakazodza friend yachondo pakazoti okay ndikantare naye, and the friend was like, hey, and ndandikupe $500 yekuti uite take care of that, you know, situation, because I'm not going to be involved. I'm married and I can't communicate with you because my business will be on the line, so I can't communicate with you. I'm very sorry, and definitely that means I can't co-parent with you when it comes to that child. So I'm spent about $500, and you know, eventually she took care of it. Achienda ku South Africa kwanenge achita chinoita marana services and whatnot, and you know, she's just there. But she was just saying, listen guys, at the end of the day, shiri inozongomhara, chese chinobhururuka chinomhara. Angachiti ana anitava, munogona feel like you're on top of the world, you're everything, but at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, Big Mike will always choose his wife. They'll always choose the big mamas, you know what I mean? So that's a story. If you did not watch Mfundisi Munwo, go and watch it. Then Mozoka Panenoi. So yeah, twice. Akapinda nenenyaya dzakadai so dzekuita side chick. But anyway, she has her life on track. She learned her lesson and she's doing good. And we thank you, Hazel, for telling us the story. I hope you do encourage someone, and I hope other people also learn from it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's it, guys. Kutondona kusaposta dai. Kuno ku YouTube, guys. Ngona. And uto andisi kutoda kana utokamba musoro. Munoziya kana wakamira maintenance days waka. Zvokamba musoro neta sese unenge uchingogara une dhuku. But handizuzu tinenge tafambira nyaya. Sandota ndazofunga ndikati no one ngachatsanyise hama dzangu nekuti ndaningirina. Nekuti ndakamira maintenance ngativape nyaya bosi pana vanenge vafambira chi nyaya. Anyway, YT family, I hope you all take care. Mangwana, definitely I'll come with a story for you guys. I got mad love for you. Don't be like people from TikTok, okay? Don't be like them. They're toxic. Bye guys. More square Jamnoda. Bye bye.